Welcome to another video and to another organ. Today I'm just near Penrith at Ron's house to look at this incredible 3-manual Hauptwerk organ. It's taken me ages to say that. I hope I said it right. This is absolutely remarkable. Obviously it runs completely on software. It has all sorts of organs built into the software. It sounds remarkable. I don't know lots and lots about it, and so I'm going to hand over to Ron. I'm going to ask Ron lots of questions. Hopefully he will inform you and indeed me of how this organ works and how this is very likely the future of organs. So over to you, Ron. So thanks very much, Ron, for inviting me to your home to look at this incredible organ. I suppose we should start by hearing a little bit of history of this organ and how it happened.
Well, I decided to get into playing the organ, and I'm not very keen on cold churches in February, so I had a look at the alternatives. Initially an electronic organ from one of the mainstream suppliers, and then Hauptwerk came up, which basically is a software solution. People go out, they record the real sounds of real organs, you can load those into the software, and then you can build an instrument which will then play them back. So at the heart of this, behind the console here, there is just a standard PC loaded with the software and the instruments, and basically you just select which one you want and the sounds come out. It does lots of things, so I have screens to emulate the stop jams, and I can just hit the image of the stop on the screen and the sound will come out. And it's as simple as that. This one I've gone for 3 manuals and a 32 pedal board, so it's about as flexible as you can get. You could go mad and have 4 or 5, but obviously that gets very expensive.
So I mean, I think it's absolutely fascinating. Could you give some more information on where the sound comes from?
Yep, sure. The people who go out and record the sounds actually play the individual stops on the live organ.
So it's actually a person sitting at an organ and recording the individual sounds?
Yes, it is. Someone goes out, they click on the individual stop on the real organ, and they play each individual note and record it. And that's what's called a sample set, and that's what's loaded into the computer that's sitting behind the console here. To reproduce the sound here, there's a few more bits and pieces. The whole thing's controlled through MIDI, so anyone who's familiar with MIDI keyboards and the like, it's the same technology. So there's some MIDI controllers behind here. There's a sound card, and in this particular installation, the sound is distributed through 2 main channels. There's a channel up here in the casework, and there's a pair of studio monitors in there. There's another pair at the side here, and behind on the floor there's a subwoofer which makes sure that we can reproduce those nice big pedal sounds.
So tell me about the organs that you have programmed into the system at the moment.
At the moment, there's about a dozen instruments loaded up. There's a couple of UK instruments. Most of them are from Europe. I've got, for example, the Lawrence Kirk in Rotterdam, and I've got the Cavalier Cole instrument at Caen. For example, there's a modern German baroque instrument in there as well. There are others on my list to buy in due course, but that's what's on here at the moment.
What ideas have you got for future purchases as far as instruments go?
I'd really like one of the big Cavalier Cole instruments like Nantes, and there are some new recordings recently of some of the English instruments. I think there are various ones that have recently come online, which I will have a look at. I'll try out the samples, the test sample sets, and then work out which one I fancy adding to the list. But yes, there's a lot of them.
It's not just a case of downloading them. What sort of price do you pay, or does it depend on the type of organ? And
yes, you do have to pay. It does depend. There are some that are free. Most of them you can test them out for obviously a reduced sample set, usually free of charge. The prices vary enormously, from about, say, roughly £200 and up. I think the most expensive ones, which are the ones which are full surround sound capable and recently recorded, are probably more in the £1,000 range, but they vary between free, a couple of £100 and upwards.
So it's quite an expensive hobby.
It is, but compared to the price of actually even considering building your own domestic pipe organ, it's a lot cheaper. And in fact, if you just bought an off-the-shelf electronic organ, which doesn't have this capability, they're actually more expensive. So for a domestic solution, this is a good way to go. There are challenges because it is software driven and it's running on a Windows PC, and you know, things do occasionally go awry and you have to reset things, but overall, so far for me, it's been a good experience.
Thank you for that bit of information. No doubt there'll be more questions to come, but could you now demonstrate some of the sounds that this is capable of, and maybe go through some of the organs that you have preset? Over to you.
Right. I think what I'm probably going to do is to get you to do some of the playing. But
you might regret that.
But here we've got a typical cathedral organ, as we'd expect over here. And I have 3 touch screens, and the 2 left and right represent the stop jams you'd normally have on an organ. This is St. David's. You can see the stops are represented on the screen, and all you have to do is touch and the stop will come to life.
That's an incredible sound.
Yeah, that was the cornopian and the hautboy or oboe. So and because it's the real recording, you get an effective sound. So these behave exactly like you'd expect the stops to behave. We obviously have the pedals as well, and these can get quite lively.
Dear me.
Yes, but we do have some nice quiet sounds on here as well. We've got a nice string on the choir. On the Gedet. With the 4-foot. mutations.
Nice. And actually on this particular sample, you can actually hear the blower and you can hear the stops pulling in and out. I hope you can pick that up on the camera, because that's that really adds to the.
We'll just.
And you've got your general council there.
Yes.
So that is St David's Cathedral in Wales. And also it's worth pointing out that the screen there, the music board, which Ron is going to demonstrate now, you can see all your music that you preset into that. And you've even got a page turner, which is one of the toe pistons. That is incredible. I use an iPad for that. Dear me, I'm absolutely amazed. Wrong one. Nice. So we talked briefly before we started recording that this kind of organ that you've described is kind of the way forward, and it's quite worrying that in the age of AI and technology like this, that organists like myself and yourself, of course, are going to be taken over by this kind of technology. Can you see that happening?
I don't think you replace organists, but in terms of the reality of a mobile instrument that can be played anywhere, I think they do have their use. There's nothing to compare to a full-size organ in a large cathedral type building. There's nothing to compare to that. However, if you're putting on, I mean, you see there are modern concert organists. They now travel with a Hauptwerk instrument so that they can perform in venues that don't have an organ. And if you're a church, for example, looking for something that sounds like a real organ, but without the enormous costs of a pipe organ, then this is a route to consider.
So we've moved on to another organ now. Which one have we got?
Well, this is the classic French organ made by the great Cathedral, and this is the one at Caen. And the screen on the left is showing what the organ actually looks like, but in terms of being able to use it practically, tend to opt for it to look like that, which is a bit easier to understand.
Right.
But it's typical French organ, so the instead of the great, it's called the grand orgue, and unlike an English organ, which would be the middle manual, it's actually the lower manual. So
it's back to front.
It's back to front from the English viewpoint.
Right. That is an incredible tone. It really is. So what sort of stops do we have on there that would be?
Well, the naming convention is slightly different. So what we would call diapason are called mantra. So we have the mantra 16/8, and then the 4 foot is called a prestant, and the 2 foot is the doublet. But that's the main diapason chorus. We do have some rather nice flutes on here. And the octave.
And that chiffing sound, you can hear it coming through, can't you?
You can just hear the chiff on it.
Yeah, yeah. That was nice.
And we have a gamba for the strings. We've got this French thing of cornet, which is effectively 5 ranks. which creates that sort of trumpet sound.
Right.
But you mix that with your main chorus. And we've obviously, being a French organ, we've got some fairly juicy reeds.
And you can hear the echo.
It's just tailing off now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the advantage of the Hauptwerk, is you get the recording of the real acoustic.
Yeah.
And we've got the recit is the equivalent of the swell, which is the top manual. So we've got some more normally named as diapasons on here. We have strings with a voix celeste, and we get that.
We get the beats that I rattle on about. Nice.
We have a clarinet stop. And we've also got an oboe.
Lovely.
And in the same department we've got a voix humaine.
Which I'm not a fan of.
It always has a bit of a strange sound, I always think.
Yeah, I've never been a fan. That sounds quite nice though.
We do have some nice flutes. And the 4-foot.
And does that 16-foot quinteton belong to the recit as well?
Yes, I think it does.
Yeah.
We've got a 2-foot as well. Although that's more of a diapason type sound.
I'm always pleased to see a 2-foot, as you know.
Yes, because a lot of organs are missing that.
They are.
And then we have another cornet. There's a plein jeu.
I don't know what that is. What's that?
It's effectively another mixture,
Right.
but it's a specifically French style.
Right.
And again, being a French organ, we have a collection of reeds.
That depth is, I don't know what to say. That is lovely.
I think you need to be playing this. And then the positive is the equivalent of the choir. So we've got a 16-foot board on.
So I noticed that we have on the other jam on your right hand side is the same as this side.
Yes, I've replicated it in this case, so they're the same. So I can, if I want to, just play from here as well.
Oh, right, okay.
They both come up here.
Because of course it's a 3 manual, this organ. That so
yeah,
it
we
won't
could
have as many.
set it up to be left jam and right jam.
Oh, right.
Replicates how the actual live organ looks.
Right.
And unlike an English organ, the stops are arranged horizontally.
Yeah.
And it gives you a clue because the bottom tier is the bottom organ. So
that
it's a
helps.
manual. So grand is at the bottom, positive is the middle, and the recit is the
And oddly, the pedals are at the very top.
which kind of doesn't make sense, but there we go.
But there we go. Shall we try the pedals while we're here?
Indeed, I think we certainly should. There's a lot of stuff on here. So
Yeah, there is.
you start off with your typical sort of Sue bass. We've got a 32-foot board on.
Whew.
So we've got, so if we bring in the sort of all the fluty ones. So we've got a 32, an 8 and a 4. But we have got some fairly significant reeds. That was the 8-foot trumpet added. Now let's add the 16-foot bombard. And because we want to make more noise, let's add the 32-foot.
Wow. Power galore.
Yes.
Shall we try something on that organ?
I think so. I think you need to come and have some fun.
Let's have a quick go.
Yeah.
So what organ have you set this up to?
So this is a modern instrument in Frisac, so it's in the style of a baroque organ, so eminently suitable for playing baroque.
Right, which is what we're going to do. It's also probably worth pointing out at this stage that we have 2 swell pedals. We have, am I correct in saying that the right one is the swell pedal?
Yes.
And the left one is
It's a general crescendo.
a general crescendo.
But it's not operative on all organs.
Is it operative on this one?
I'm not sure.
I don't want to press it in case lots of stops all of a sudden come out. And
Well, we can test it.
right, I don't think it did. Let's try this. You can hear the delay, or feel the delay.
Yeah.
Feels strange being back to front, having the grate down here at the bottom, and
Yeah.
I didn't even try the solo. presets. Oh,
What happens is if you hit a preset that's not set, it actually acts as a jazz pencil.
that shut me up. So which organ are we on this time, Ron?
This is another Dutch organ, this is Groningen. And it's an old organ, it's not, so it's got some quite authentic old style sounds.
Right, and do you go back to your previous screen for ease?
Yes, it's much easier to read.
Right. Nice. Sounds very European, very...
Yes, it's definitely not an English cathedral sound.
No, it's not. Very nice though. Like it. So I hope you've enjoyed this slightly different video here at Ron's house, looking at this incredible 3-manual Hauptwerk, have I pronounced that right? Organ. This is absolutely incredible, and to me this is the future of organs. You know, it has to be. It's just the way that the world is moving, and I'm slightly sad about that, but I'm also really excited about you know, the effect that this could have on churches and music generally. A massive thank you to Ron, who's invited me to his home to look at this phenomenal, I can't think of a stronger word, to organ. It is absolutely incredible. So what we're going to do to finish is go back to Hereford Cathedral, to the Henry Willis organ, and finish off with something beefy. Let's have a go.